Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Friday, June 24, 2022, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a reverse aging health call tonight at 9 p.m. Don't rely on the mind for liberation. Just have faith and act on it. You are the sum cause of the entire universe, Nisargadatta. Don't postpone enlightenment. Are you too busy to relax and enjoy your life? Many of us, excuse me, many of us have developed super tight schedules that are jam-packed, full of meeting the demands of others and ourselves, just so we feel fulfilled. Productivity, money, and the future agenda have become the priority instead of this wonderful divine moment, rushing here and there. We are trying to squeeze in as many things as we possibly can. We forget that when tomorrow comes, our ego will only present yet another list of demands. And without hesitation, off to the races we go. Do you ever feel like you are tired and bound, or tied and bound by the hands of the money clock, always attempting to fix and fulfill the ego's infinite list of desires? Check inside and see if you are that mouse on the wheel running after the last piece of plastic cheese dangling in front of your hungry nose. If you stop to notice, about 95% of the time, the mind is focusing its attention on the outer world. It is concerned with the body, food, clothes, and bank account, the home, what's on the TV, our material possessions, friends, and family. There is so much emphasis on the outer that we as a society have completely lost touch with the awesome divine spiritual essence found at our core. We think if we give up or eliminate any one of these things in our outer world, we will experience a great devastation. There is such a strong addiction to the outer world that we have totally forgotten how to access the divine within. So how do we let go of the periphery and rediscover the already brilliant, loving, enlightened being that is perhaps asleep or hiding within? We must choose to simply recognize when we are focusing on the outer world and unaware of this simple divine awesome presence inside, we have to want to have a new experience on our inner world before the mind can let go. The mind will always want to obsess about or be occupied with something. So why not redirect it towards the infinite divine essence available inside your core? If you don't redirect the mind, it will remain caught up in its typical, frenzied, hectic, needy, demanding disposition, thinking it is the general manager of the universe until you've reached your last breath of air. Don't wait another day to bring your attention within. Don't be afraid of what you will find. Instead, be curious, like a child. The postponement of meeting your real nature, excuse me, is ridiculous. Enlightenment is available right here. Simply choose to be aware of your divine nature. There is nothing more simple, satisfying, and easy to attain than something you already have. It's like discovering that beneath your house exists the world's largest cluster of diamonds. Why keep digging in 101 locations around the neighborhood when you can simply sit and rest upon this divine abundance at home? It is completely gratifying to the soul to stop the mind and really relax within. So why not do it now? This is the path of awakening, and the only way to discover deep permanent peace within. When we finally give in to the pleasure of relaxing within, we stop rushing so furiously through our day. When we consciously choose to slow down and become engaged in each experience of this life, we instantly become in touch with our enlightened nature. Rushing is an act of violence against our souls. Rushing is an act of violence against our souls. How can we truly take in the majesty of the Grand Canyon when we are flying by it at 100 miles per hour? Sure, it's okay to zip around once in a while, yet all day long becomes exhausting. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised how delightful it is to be free from efforting, to get somewhere more special than here now. God is here now, right now. Is there anything more precious than discovering this? The divine is much easier to find when we are moving through each experience at the speed of a snail. So practice slowing down and become more snail-like. Do this every day for 1 week of your life. This exercise is worth it. The easiest way to do this is to give yourself twice the amount of time you'd normally give yourself to complete your day's agenda, and then remove half the number of things you have on your list. For instance, give yourself 30 minutes to arrive home from work instead of 15. Drive under the speed limit. Become fully engaged in the experience of being in your body while driving. Feel the car beneath you, the steering wheel in your hands, and take in what is going on around you. Use all your senses so that you are completely present. As you are being more present to your senses, practice residing in your deepest stillness. It is there, still at your core, even when you are moving. You'll be amazed at how fulfilled you feel at the end of your day. It is so patiently, so much easier to enjoy the pleasure of being alive when you're moving slowly, patiently, savoring each experience that comes your way. So when you think about that, you catch yourself. We all do it, but we're not consciously aware of it. We're so used to doing it. But you get hurried, and you don't. It's almost like it's the norm, the hurriedness. Brushing your teeth, moving quickly, doing this, doing that, getting this done. You got to get here. Got to finish this to get here. You got to get here now, and then from there you got to go there, and then so on and so forth. And it catches us. You can, and then when you're consciously aware. You say, you know what? I can feel myself rushing. I'm going to slow it down. I'm going to take my time. And at first, it's not real easy to do because you're not used to doing it. It's just like anything. If you're not used to doing something, it's more of a challenge in the beginning to do it. But then when you start doing it, it starts to feel good. You're no longer in that rat race. You're in the now. You're moving slowly. Everything you do is slow. It isn't fast-paced. You're not in a hurry. You have no reason to be in a hurry. And you take everything slowly. Whatever it may be. And to you, it could be trivial, but you could say to yourself, I got to take this, I decided to take this slowly. I don't care to be in a hurry. And as you practice it, day in and day out, it becomes natural. You move into a natural state. You ever notice, it's just like people say, why are you moving so slow? Come on, we got to get going. For what? Why do we have to keep hurrying and running and grimacing and stretching and pulling and always in a hurry? And civilization is thrusted into that, but doesn't really know it. So each of us can take a few steps back and say, I'm going to slow things down. Everything I do is going to be slow. And that helps us go into the now. In fact, it really helps us to go into the now. Now, our bodies, see, when we hurry, our bodies are under stress. And most of us are in a hurry in some way, shape, or form, not knowing about it all the time. The ego mind is really pushing and poking and pushing. You got to get this done, you got to get that done. You don't have much time left. You're running out of time. And see, everything connects. You start to realize that I'm not concerned about outside. It'll take care of itself. I'm moving inside. I'm relaxing my body so the body can let go of a lot of stuff. Stress, anxiety, fear, worry, hurriedness. And all that drops away when you focus on your breath. You breath in through slowly and surely. It's regular breathing. You breath in through your nose, and then slowly and surely you breath out through your mouth. Easily. And what happens is that the ego mind, when you're moved into the now, the ego mind doesn't exist. You have left it alone. Same with the subconscious mind. There isn't any interference. And the only way to master them is to watch them. You watch them. You see how they operate, what they do. You don't judge them, you just watch. And this way you learn how they operate. Then thoughts will come in, right? The ego mind generates them. And remember, they're just thoughts. And you got to get going, or you got to move out of here, or you got to go into tomorrow or yesterday, poking at you, And you're focused on the now with the breath. So we put out 60,000 plus thoughts, each of us, every 24 hours. That's why Buddha would say, master your thoughts. Most of us don't do that. What happens is that we send out so many thoughts. We're always manifesting, so the universe starts moving it. We start moving energy into form, creating it in reality and experiencing it. But we don't, a lot of it we don't know. It's where you have these things come out of clear blue. Not only that, we've got tens of millions of thoughts, billions of them, that fly by like clouds in the sky. 99.999% of them are not ours. They're really programs. And those will come in. You ever been doing something? You're focused on it. And you all of a sudden you're somewhere else. And you kind of go, wow, this is what am I doing here? I was working on that and I'm over here. This is when we practice being gentle, kind, generous, humble with ourselves. And staying in the highest of the highest, high, deepest of the deepest, deepest, purest of the purest, purest. Eternal love, gratitude, and peace. It happens to all of us. It can happen at any time. I mean, you could be talking with someone and you leave, so to speak. You're off somewhere else while they're talking. When that happens, you simply say, not a biggie. I'll focus on my breath, and I'll be in the now. Every single time you focus on your breath, you're in the now. Doesn't mean you stay there because of the pull trying to get you into tomorrow or yesterday from the ego mind. But the practice is essential because you'll go on autopilot. It'll just be like, you float away and you'll focus, you'll say, I focus on my breath and I'll be in the now. This goes against everything this civilization has been taught. It goes against everything. Be in the now. I got to be in tomorrow. I got to be in yesterday. I got to know what's going on. I can't just be in the now. That's how we've been taught. And that's why at first it seems out of place to be in the now. You know, have you ever experienced it? You almost say, it doesn't feel right to be in the now. I'm comfortable with being in tomorrow or yesterday. It's that stuckness that we've all experienced. It's like a comfort zone. But we continue the practice of being in the now. It's crucial. The longer we stay in the now, the more we discover the gods that we are within the body. You picture yourself, all of us, standing in front of three paths. And we, notice that each path has the trees that form the golden canopy over them, golden leaves and branches and bark. Path themselves are brilliant emerald green flaming grass. It appears to be grass. But we do notice a difference, because all of us are in the center path now. So we look to our left and we see yesterday. And this path is used, and you can tell it immediately. It's been really heavily used. And the one on the right, tomorrow, same, been really, really used. The one that we're standing in front of now is very close to being new. And we know why. Because of the ego mind. It doesn't want us to be in the now. Because it doesn't exist in the now. So we reminisce. All of us do. We reminisce. We nostalgia things. We review things that we've done or experienced in this life. And we also visit things that didn't work out too well. And we say, well, it didn't work that way. I'm going to try it this way. So we kind of use it as a reference as well. And each of us have this great hall. And it is packed with everything. Right? The subconscious mind, as soon as you enter that baby body, it starts recording stuff, everything. It doesn't miss anything. It records it all and places it in the Great Hall. So your past lives and the life you're in, and all of the people and all of the conversations and all of the interactions and all of the experiences are being recorded by the subconscious mind. Not only that, it plays it back randomly. It plays it back randomly. And this is when, you feel familiar. You're in a position where something, it feels familiar. The reason it feels familiar is because the subconscious mind is playing back a recorded moment that you experienced. That's why you go, well, I've done this before. And not only that, it could be a past life as well. Now, we'll go into our Great Hall. And we'll turn on the light. And when you walk into a room, you don't, a lot of people don't realize it, but you will flash, like look at the wall and the ceilings, the walls and the ceilings real quickly. But when you walk into your Great Hall, you don't see any walls or ceilings. It's so vast, it's so massive. But you'll still go to the shelves and the drawers, and you'll pick out some movies, some books, and pictures. You'll sit in the easy chair, and you'll see this. It's like a white rectangle just floating in the air. And you'll watch some of the movies, you'll read some of the books, and you'll look at some of the pictures. And you'll enjoy yourself. You'll use references, and like I said, the certain past things that have happened in your life. And I wouldn't mind doing that again. That was really fun. But then we will not stay there. We will take everything, put it back in its proper place. We turn the light off, shut the door, move forward in life. And on occasion, revisit. But some of us, and unconsciously so, we will stay there so long that we will end up taking that past, bringing it into a future that doesn't exist, create that future from that past, and relive that past in that future. That's why a lot of people say no matter what we do, we always seem to end up here. Now, we all go into the future. Tomorrow, we go into the future. Because why? Because we're in a hurry, and we get anxious, and we want to know things. Right? And the ego mind keeps pushing you. Go in there, find out. Find out. You got to know these things. So we'll go in the future, and we will seek external authority. We want information to be told to us, so that we can look at it and do whatever it is we need to do with it. So you've got palm readers, you've got tea leaf readers, you've got tarot card readers, pendulum readers. Astrologers, psychics, clairvoyants. A lot of different avenues of external authority. And so we'll go and, we'll say, what do you see for me? I'd like to know when I'm going to have enough money to enjoy my life. That's one of the major questions. So you might go to someone who has the cards and shuffle the cards, then lay them out on the table. And then they'll go process and they'll give you a reading. But let's say that you're told in 1 week you're going to come into a lot of money. And it is going to be out of the clear blue. Now, when you're told that, we all have different responses, right? Some of us will go, sure, not really believe it. A lot of people say that their lives have always been a dark cloud and nothing has ever really, they've never been fortunate with anything or lucky with anything. The other one will look at it and say, wow, that's phenomenal. And will have total trust in themselves and the universe, and will just review it and look at it and then let it alone. Then the other one will just absolutely embrace it with a lot of enthusiasm, but write a calendar, then start developing expectations and attachments to the outcome of it, and be fixated on it. The one that in most cases it manifests for is the one in the middle. The one that has a trust in themselves and the universe. Isn't concerned about when, where, how, and why. It just knows. This is great. They don't wonder how much money. They're not concerned. They just know it's going to be great. They let it go. And it will manifest for that person. The other two, very rarely. And if there's a dark cloud, it is you who created it for you. Just by making those statements, people make those statements about, their lives and stuff, and they don't realize that they're reinforcing it, and the universe just gives them more of the same stuff. So in the now, guess what? We stop storing stress, tension, anxiety, fear, worry, revenge, greed. We stop storing it in the body. And the body gets a final, just a wonderful chance to depress, right? To de-stress, to depressurize, and let go and float and be in harmony. So a lot happens when we decide to go on into the now. We have parts of ourselves, the gods that we are in these bodies, and some of those parts are stone cold asleep. And in a lot of cases, they won't wake up in this lifetime. We love them just as dearly as we love the parts of ourselves, the gods that we are that are away. Now, what does this mean? You see what separation, losing separation does, is that it makes us believe that others are more than us, more powerful, more this, more that. And that's the illusion of the physical. It's like when you look at the ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Vedantia, Peltoth, Yeshua. They inhabited physical forms. They're gods there, just like we are. And they experienced it, just like we are. And the gods within them and the gods within us are no different. And we're all one. So that means we're all Buddhists. We're all Maitreya's. It's the same with the off-worlders, Blacklicks, the Celestials. Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Felines, Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avion. Their gods are in bodies, just like our gods are in our bodies. No separation. All the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, are guards and beneath earth. Gods in bodies. Gods in physical form. Loved ones, all of them that have ascended out of their bodies in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Same thing. those gods are part of the gods that we are. Vice versa. Archangels, cherubim, seraphim, archetypes, same thing. Gods inhabit their physical form. No different than the gods within our physical form. You see how the separation has caused us to feel lesser, yet separate, segregated. And so this illusion creates many deceptions, many, many, many. It's like the fairies, sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the trolls, the dwarves, the trees, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, mermaid, dolphin, whale, pegasus, unicorn, centaur, minotaur. Those are physical forms. Gods inhabit them. What for? To experience. Eventually, as we discover who and what we are within these bodies, and the veil, the illusion of separation ends, we will begin to learn that we can be anywhere at any time and more than one place in the blink of the eye. Reason is that we're part of all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. So the gods that we are in physical form can be anywhere at any time we choose. And to acknowledge at least that means that we're halfway there. So we focus on this planet, right? It's Earth, Gaia, Arya, got many names. And we're liberating it, we're cleansing it and purifying it. The gods that we are within these bodies. And there's countless numbers. A googolplex fills this universe with not even 1 square inch of sacred space to spare. These are trillions of googolplexes from trillions of universes. Are they separate? No. That's the illusion. And we're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. We're all one. And we're all God, and we're all love. And our God, force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, and continues to intensify, grow, and expand. We form a massive white fire circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This light emanates from the gods that we are within these bodies. This light is so bright that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. You could take 1 trillion suns, combine them all together, put them in the back, and our light, the light that we are, they would pale in comparison to. And this light is saturating, permeating, and flooding this planet, on it, in it, above it, below it, infinity and beyond, with pure, deep, eternal love. We begin to ascend above the planet. As we do, we're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. It's everywhere. And we describe it with the things that we've experienced on this planet the best we can. So we take a grand finale fireworks display and a grand finale laser light show display and a ballroom globe. Little faceted mirrors, shine light on it, and flood the room with light. So we take all of those and we combine them and intensify them a trillion times, and we move them into one massive crescendo. In one burst of magnificent light, multicolored, sparkling, blazing everywhere, comes really near to the description of the ocean of glitter. Now, we look at the reflective points, which are everywhere, and we see these little tiny microscopic mirrors, perfectly etched, and we enter them to discover that all of us, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, are teaching and learning from one another. So it's like a bunch of gods, unlimited numbers, all experiencing different things everywhere in many different physical forms, constantly, infinity and beyond. And when we come across other gods in physical form, they're always teaching us. Now, when you see the majority of the population in civilization is entrenched in outside the external world, the physical material world, so they miss most of this. Some of us decide to go within and stay within, and we don't miss it. And we begin to realize how valuable these bodies are that we're in. And then we're going to realize, like, what a horse is teaching you. When we were kids, I know a lot of us would say, I did, I want to be that horse. I want to know what it's like to be that horse. I want to be that cow or that dog or that cat or that bug or that lizard, or whatever it may be. I want to be that. And of course, my mother would say, well, that's silly. You're you. You know, you can't be that. But we can. You can focus on your breath, move into the now, be in silence, and whatever it is, and you look at it, and you say, and you'll know exactly for a moment what it's like to be whatever it is you're focused on. And there's so many things around us that teach us. Trees. Like I said, you have a bamboo tree and an oak tree. Right? They're both teaching us things. Oak tree, very strong and powerful, steadfast, doesn't really bend much. And it teaches us strength, resolve, power. Now, if a massive wind or storm comes up, that oak tree could break because it won't bend enough with the wind. Now, a bamboo tree, totally the opposite. The wind, everything, it bends and flows. It doesn't fight back and forth, so it doesn't crack or break. So each tree is teaching us something different. It's like a dog and a cat, whatever it may be. It's teaching us. And all you got to do is focus. It's like, what's that bird trying to tell me? Or a butterfly flies in front of you, and you feel kind of light, free. You smile. You sit by a body of water just to sit, not to do anything else. We create columns of light, gods that we are, to remind us of things. We're met with like Archangel Raphael carries a flaming, brilliant emerald green healing light. And this reminds us, the gods that we are the power of healing these bodies with. We have Archangel Michael. He's carrying violet, blue, purple flaming light. And this reminds us, the gods that we are in these bodies, of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. Then comes along the white firelight. We all, collectively, the gods that are created this to remind us all that while in these physical forms, we are protected 24/7. There's no demon possession attachments, no dark cloud, anything. As long as we maintain that vibrational frequency of pure, deep, eternal love and gratitude. So those lower frequencies can't sustain themselves around that. So they either vaporize or they stay away. Now, only you have the power that if you, whether consciously or unconsciously, decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough through hatred, anger, greed, revenge, fear, worry, stress, hurriedness, anxiety, envy, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, allowing all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies come flowing in. Then there's all kinds of possibilities, demon possession, attachments, and so on and so forth. Now, the interesting thing, we have fail-safes, the gods that we are in place. So when this happens, we're met with a double column of light. And the first part of that column of light is the purple transmuting flame. This reminds us that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutralized substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are no more. And we have a second part of the column of light, the violet ray. This reminds us that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame, and we can cleanse, purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, and purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. Then we're met with the golden white pink light. This is a column of light, the gods that we are within these bodies created, to remind us all that we are the sun. We're the sunlight. We are the rain and the rainbows. We are the sunsets and the sunrises. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams. We are the trees and the forests, the soils, the animals. We are the clouds in the sky. We are the stars. Now, we've been trained so long that when we look at a sunset, we look at that sunset and we say, isn't that beautiful? Because we're in the illusion of separation. Yet, when we go within and discover that we are not separate, that that's the illusion, that we're part of everything, and we would look at that sunset from a different perspective and say, that is the God that I am, through our heart mind, not our ego mind. Anything that you would see that takes your breath away, as far as a vista or any kind of scenery or whatever it may be, you're viewing a part of you, the God that you are. And as strange as that may seem to some, it is a fact, and you'll feel it. Now we continue to ascend above the planet. Some of us step outside our physical form. Those of us that are carrying physical form hover effortlessly above it. And the reason we do this is because we can, and it is really fun. We come into full contact with this massive crystalline light tower. We, the gods, in these bodies created, larger than the solar system and beyond. In the center of the column, we see this massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere is this humongous golden white bowl of light. It, in turn, is surrounded by numerous multicolored rings of light that seem to go to infinity and beyond. That, in turn, creates this massive, super bright, sparkling, misty cloud formation. And it's sparkling and reflecting. It's just absolutely massive. In turn, that is absorbed in through our heart mind. And it feels like a warm embrace that never ends. We discovered that the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Then comes well-being, gratitude, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, massive prosperity, and massive abundance. And all of this is a reflection of the gods that we are within these bodies. Now, at the top of this tower, we, the gods in these bodies, created it so that the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, 24/7, infinity and beyond, saturating, permeating, and flooding this planet and all life, the highest supreme value in the universe, on and in, above and below it. What is the golden ocean? Pure, deep, eternal love. We, all of us, are drops of that golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is a drop, drops of the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. Now we see our meditative sphere. We, the gods in these bodies, created this sphere over 4 years ago. It houses, we're moving towards 1,900 meditations, all in perpetual motion, every day for over 4 years, 7 days a week. All focused, the gods that we are, on this planet, flooding it with these meditations that continue to grow, expand, and intensify. That's why this sphere can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to grow, intensify, and expand. So we're flooding this planet. It's pure, deep, eternal love. It's changing and shifting, transcending, ascending, everything. And you can plug into it anytime you choose, just to see, just kind of do a little viewing and focus on your breath and go into the now and be still, and you'll see it through the heart mind. You see all this black goop, AI, rogue black goop, souls that have absorbed too much darkness, pure evil, all of it evaporating from the planet. We, the gods, have installed and created a atmosphere of a shimmering golden white pink, opaque atmosphere. You can see it. You see through it. You can walk through it. And it's absolutely amazing. And it's pure, deep, eternal love, the highest vibrational frequency. And you can see this black goop. It's the blackest of the blackest black you've ever seen. You watch as it's evaporating and it's disintegrating and it's flashing away. And we created the sky of a brilliant golden white pink light. Now, any of this dark matter that survives the disintegration process and gets any part of it gets to the sky, it ends in one flash, and it's no more. This is what's happening on, in, above, and below this planet. And it will never end. This isn't temporary. This is always. The transition of this planet will eventually go into a God planet paradise. And all the inhabitants will be aware, will be awake. None of them will be sleeping, ever. This playful witnessing consciousness only happens when the mind is not there. When there is no mind. However, the mind is your way to such a degree, is in your way to such a degree, that you may need a technique to help you open fully to the here and now. I'll join you in the meditation and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy, slow breath in through the nose and an easy, slow breath out of the mouth. Be still. Sometime today, for 7 to 10 minutes, sit and relax as you gently focus on a candle flame, about 6 to 12 inches from your nose. Notice how the mind tends to wander. Relax into the flame. Become the light and the fire. Let your mind and energy move into it. When you feel warmth begin to grow inside you, close your eyes and bring the flame into your heart. See it radiating light to everyone and everything in your life. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night, the following morning. And we will be back here Saturday, June 25th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our Global Guided Meditation call, and tonight at 9 p.m. to continue our Reverse Aging Health call.